I spit a Jay-Z verse in this freestyle that no one didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, they didn't know it. And so they was like, yo, you dope. And there was a cat in there named JT the Bigger Figure and his boy Fat Rat. And they was like, I want to fly you to the Bay. And I was like, fly me to the Bay? Like, you know, I know in my head that this ain't my rap. This is Jay-Z rap. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, they want to fly me to the Bay. He's like, in the morning, I'm going to call you and I'm going to fly you out to the Bay. He called. I went to the airport. I only been on a plane twice at that point. Once when my grandma going to Vegas with my cousin, stay at Circus, and you don't know about the old Circus.
Nah.
It was crazy back in the day for kids, man. It's like Home Alone for black people. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, it's my second time on a plane. I'm scared as shit, but I land. I get to meet E40. I get to meet some, the Outlaws, Tupac homie. I got to meet Rappin' Forte. I'm at Too Short. And my engineer that was recording my demo is now the owner of Empire, Ghazi.
Wow.
So it's like I recorded my demo, I brought it back. I was just passing it out. I would go to like Rite Aid, get some CDs. I bought a CD burner from Fry's, and I would just, every time I sold some weed, I went, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I went back selling weed.
I thought you said God would you.
Hey, man. I was.
You done made a promise to God in less than 2 weeks. You know.
Hey man, yeah, I was trying to figure it out, man. But so yeah, I went back selling weed, and with every person that bought, a 20 sack or something like that, I would just give them my CD. Somehow they got to Dr. Dre's sister, and my homie D-Mac and K-Dog was like, yo, Dre want to meet you, and then we end up going to coming to the Valley, and I had never been to the Valley in my life.
Wow.
Ever. And I went to the Valley, and I was like, damn, this is the Valley? It's only 20 minutes away?
Right.
So that's how small L.A. is, right? Mm-hmm. So I went to the Valley, walked in. Dre was like, you game? I was like, yeah. He was like, welcome to Aftermath. And I was like, what? All I really got is this demo that I recorded and like kind of got myself through on the go. Mm-hmm. And this one Jay-Z verse that I spit at this freestyle, but here I am signed to Aftermath. So I went home, I told my mom, I was like, I'm signing to Dr. Dre. And she was like, what do you do? And I was like, I rap, And prior,
had she ever heard you rap before?
She kicked me out the house for saying that I wanted to rap when it was just an idea. Kicked me straight out, locked the doors, and I never went back. So I was like, yeah, mine, the rap worked out. And she didn't, I don't think she believed me.
Right.
But I was like, I'm gonna make this happen, man. And at that time, my oldest son's mom was pregnant with him, and I was like, I promised her mother that before this kid was born, that I would have $1 million, and I made it happen.
Wow.
And I thought $1 million was, not to knock nobody, but $1 million is not really as much as you think it is when you get to taking care of people and handling business.
Well, half of that, because once Uncle Sam get his cut.
Right. Well, it was a subsidiary company, right? Mm-hmm. The people that signed me to Aftermath,
they get a cut.
Took they 30%. Mm-hmm. The lawyer's gonna take their percent, management takes their percent, and then I was probably left with about $400,000 or $500,000. I did some, real young black shit. I went to Jacob, bought me a watch because, that's what Ye.
The time zone, the 5 time zone.
Right, yeah, I bought me a chain, so I was down about $300,000. I bought my girl little Benz truck.
Yeah.
I put them out here in the Valley, and then I did some stuff with my mom, and then before you knew it, man, I was like, I didn't have nothing.
Damn.
Yeah.
But so you meet Dr. Dre. You get signed to Aftermath. You get $1 million. You go through that in a little of no time.
No time. My boy BD helped me out though. He gave me a Range Rover. He was going to get a Range Rover. Told me if I came with him, he would give me a Range Rover. He was like, man, we can get 2. And so we went down there, BD, when he was playing for Charlotte.
Okay. Baron Davis.
So, yeah, I grew up with Baron Davis, Gilbert Arenas, Tyson Chandler. Like these, all my homies went to the NBA. You know, except me. But yeah, man,
you chose a different life.
Yeah, BD took me. We went together to the Range Rover dealership. We left with 2 Range Rovers, and he gave me $100,000, man.
Damn,
because he was proud of me. Because BD grew up in, in 79, I think 79 Swans, which is a blood neighborhood, and he went to, I went to Fremont for a little bit, which is the high school in Baron Davis neighborhood where he grew up. But of course, he went to Crossroads,
right?
Because he was excellent
in Santa Monica.
Basketball. Yeah, because he was excellent at basketball. But I think it was, I never even asked him why he did it. But I for real think that it was just because he was proud of me.
Wow. I read that Dr. Dre is a perfectionist in the studio, and that if that thing ain't on point, it ain't getting out. Ain't nobody gonna hear it.
Nah.
is not going to leave those walls. Is that true?
It's true, man. Dre will have you in the studio for 2 days saying it the right way. If he don't like the way you said it, he'll be like, nah, you got to say it. And I'll be like, it. And he'd be like, nah, man, it. And I'll be like, I'm going to smoke it. And he'll be like, nah, that's not it. And we'll just stay going back and forth, back and forth.
Damn.
But I had patience, you know?
Right.
Of course, he's a doctor, and, you know, he's supposed to have patience.
Right.
But, yeah, man, we would just go back and forth until I got it. And then at the end, he would love the one that I said in the beginning. He'd go back and pull it and be like, you know what, this one going to work. And
You're like, man, we done spent a day, we done spent 5 hours, 10 hours, a day and a half, and you took the first one?
Anybody that worked with Dr. Dre will tell you the same thing, man.
What's the number one thing that you learned from Dre?
The number one thing I learned from Dre was patience. I think patience in the game, man. So I've never really rushed through anything, which is, you know, at the end of the day, which is probably why I've had longevity in my career.
Right.
While I'm still here, my fans are still intact, and I'm able to put out projects. You know, and I'm never lazy.
Right.
I put out full projects of music that sound collectively great. You know, and I got that from Dre.
Beats. Dre give you beats?
Beat selection, man. Yeah, man. Anything that Dre puts his hands on. He got a plethora of producers and whatnot, but it's two people in this game, and I never worked with Quincy Jones before, but I have worked with, or three people. I have worked with Pharrell, DJ Quick, and Dr. Dre,
Okay.
kind of Swiss Beats.
Yeah.
And Timbaland. I guess it's
Yeah.
we got a lot of talented guys, but these guys are really, really amazing producers. But Dr. Dre and DJ Quick are mad scientists, man. And I think Quick is a little bit more of a mad scientist than Dre.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you become a part of G Unit?
They didn't
Because you was your own thing,
Yeah.
doing your thing, and then I think 50 was with Dre, brought to Dre by M.
Yeah.
And then how did you and 50 and that all come? Y'all became G Unit.
Jimmy Iovine didn't really know what to do with me. I had a buzz in the streets, but ultimately he felt like if he put me in G Unit, then they would have Young Buck from the South, Yayo Banks and 50 from New York, and then me from the West. So we would have America sold up
Covered.
as far as the members. He would call us the Black Beatles all the time. To this day, I see Jimmy Iovine, he say, "You fucked up the Black Beatles." Every time, man, I see him. But yeah, man, that's how I got in there. I think that they just, it was Jimmy's genius idea to just throw me in and make sure that the group was good on all sides.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before 2 something.